Hello, everybody. I'm Katrina. This is Sow and Tare, and you are in the right spot. If you see steam, it is coming from my tea. If it's annoying, let me know. It's very hot. I won't be drinking it for a while. Anyway, I'm Katrina. This is Sow and Tare. You are in the right place. And um, there's a deer back here. There was. Is it still back there? I can barely see the ears. You probably can't see it. Anyway, there's a little boy deer back there. So if you see that throughout, he's over here. And anyway, Verna's here. Welcome, Verna. Verna is Vay's place. Blue with a little wrench. She's moderator. And turning my sound off of my phone. Yeah, so we are here. Food Forest has not started yet. It's raining anyway today. It rained more than I thought it was going to. I don't actually know how much it rained, but as of almost 9 o'clock this morning, it was 0.0 inch. Oh, inch. I just turned the sound off. What is going on? Sorry. Oh, I turned the media sound off. Anyway, it's been raining all day, drizzling, pouring, raining, all that. So 0.08 is what it was this morning, and I don't know what it is since then. So, yeah, but it sounds like it's going to be later in the week that we start, but it's going to start. It's going to start. Anyway, so hope everybody's doing good. Verna's here, and Verna has a live chat on her channel. She does that Saturday morning, so check that out. So, what has been going on? I'm tired. Can you tell? The kitties kept me up doing the zoomies all over the place. Anyway, so yeah, I spent a lot of time weed whacking between yesterday or this weekend. That's basically what I did. I did not plant the garden. I was going to plant it, and then it was 38 degrees in the morning. And I'm like, well, let's keep these plants by the house for a couple more days, because 38 degrees is almost 32. And I don't know what this weird weather is going on. We have random rainstorm in June. We have I don't know. It got up to 87 last week, and then it dropped down to 38. So I'm just like, it should already be planted. I looked at some pictures from my old garden in California, and I already had all sorts of stuff, on the table from my garden. It's planting a little late here, so we'll see. We'll see what the middle of the week holds. It's supposed to heat up super hot soon, and that I think in the 90s. Okay. So it's supposed to heat up into the 90s. So we're going from not very warm to pretty warm. And I'm just checking the weather says now, because I didn't check it today yet. But hopefully it's not as warm as they predicted. 84 on Thursday, 87 Friday, 94. Oh my gosh, it got worse. 94 on Saturday. Sunday is 100. 98 Monday, 90 Tuesday, and then back down to 77 into the 70s. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, there we go. I thought it said 93 earlier, and now going all the way up to 100. I wonder if that is going to be a true story, or if that's going to be different. And usually when it's cold here, it's colder than the predictions say, and when it's warm here, it's warmer than the predictions say. So hopefully it doesn't get up to 100. 100 in June, mid-June. That's too warm. That's too warm. So Verna says burr, and that was about the 38 degrees. And then also, Verna says we were over 85 earlier, but it has dropped down to 76 right now. And going to be 90 Wednesday and Thursday. Oh my gosh. I could do without the 90s. That's what I could do without. Degrees, at least. Anyway, yeah, I could do without that. So, oh, Erica's here. Welcome, Erica. Good evening. Good evening to you. Erica and Verna are both members of the channel, Katrina's Kits, and we do a Cook With Me Live every month. This month is on Sunday, when it's supposed to be 100 degrees here. So this month is on Sunday, and I need you guys to send me ingredient ideas for pasta salad, because that's what we're making. If you guys want to sign up and join us on Sunday, and kind of figure out the different flavors that we like in a pasta salad, join the channel. So you'll also be able to access old videos for all the other Cook With Me lives. It won't be live again, but you'll see it. All right. Erica says current heat index is 100. That's crazy. Like Brenda said, yikes. Man, I'm sorry. Verna says, sad to say, I may end up missing it this time. Hopefully for good reasons. We'll miss you if you miss it. But I think I might know your reason. So if it is that reason, it's acceptable. What? Erica, seriously? Your heat index or the temperature? She says it was 107 this afternoon. Where are you? Are you in Arkansas? 107? What is it? What is the actual temperature when it's 107? I'm guessing that's a heat index. That is the index. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, Verna. We'll keep our eyes open for that. Eyes, ears. You keep your eyes open. I'll keep my ears open. How about that? Anyway, so yeah, there's room for the rabbit workshop, which is on Saturday. Right now, I don't have any people confirmed. I have a couple people who said that they wanted to do it that date, and then I haven't heard from them. So if you are those people, please let me know. I think if people don't sign up, I might be out early processing those rabbits. The way I usually do the workshop is we sit inside for a while, and if there's people who haven't processed before, we go through all of that psychology and preparation of that before we even go outside and meet the animals. And I think that's really important to do in that order. And we might reorder some other things so that the processing happens earlier if we do have a workshop. If not, then it is then I'm going to be out there early. Erica got some quail. Awesome. Congratulations. Do you get eggs or adults or babies? It was 86 at Verna's, and then the rain came. I don't actually know what it is right now. The thingy's over there. Should I tell you guys? Are you interested to see what the difference is between what Weather Channel says versus what it actually is? Or do we care? Because I can just go over another room and look at that. Okay, it says it's 60 on the phone. I'll be right back. Surprise, surprise, it's not far off. It says 59, phone says 60, so there you go. Closest it's been in a long time. All right. Erica says, may get some bunnies soon. Awesome. You got baby birds. That's good. Good. Well, congratulations on getting back into the world of quail. I am not yet back into the world of quail, but I will be. And if people are listening to this now or later, all three of us on here right now, me and Erica and Verna, I'm sure more people will show up that have experience too, but we all have experience with quail. And I do have a raising quail on um, raising quail in aviaries uh, online course, and that's available on website. So yeah. Um, Brenda says, "Yeah, you are wearing a sweatshirt. Unusual for you." I put it on when I went out earlier this morning, and then I didn't take it off. And I have been like a little bit chilled. Um, my metabolism is kicking up, so I'm also hungry more. And I think I'm losing weight, and so I when that has happened in the past, it's like, oh, there's no more insulation. Not no more. There's plenty of insulation left, but less insulation means you get colder faster, and then it also with damp weather, it's more cold. And then I did not sleep well last night, so that you always get colder with that. So there's my excusing myself out of my why I'm wearing a sweatshirt. It's a volleyball sweatshirt though, so that's okay. Um, yes, it is. I mean, I have a tank top underneath it. Oh my goodness. So yeah, baby birdies. That's good. That's good, good. Um, yeah, I just had the bunnies going on. There's gonna be a video maybe next week, maybe the week after about some bunnies. Verna's the one you know about. Only one so far, not two. That's a shorthand clue word for Verna. Anyway, so that's gonna happen. Everybody out in the pasture is doing good. Everybody up here is doing good. I was going to keep Ravioli's two babies with her because it was just like, oh, it's just gonna be easier. I kind of am thinking that I'm gonna put them out on pasture in the small, in the smaller tractor and just see how they do. Not see how they do. They'll do good, but I think that'll work pretty well where I'm thinking about putting them, which is kind of there's like a little corral area. I don't really know what to call it. Right by the building with the feed in it, and it's way overgrown. So I was just gonna slowly move them through that. I mean, with two rabbits, it'll take a while, and they won't have to move very often. But so that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing with them. Uh, Definitely after the heat wave, but yeah, because otherwise they're just gonna poop in the food, and I don't want them to. Because that's what happens when you have bowls. When you have the other containers, like the J feeders, um, they won't do that once they're old enough not to sit in it. But if they have a bowl like they have now, the rubber bowls, they will do that. Um, Pretty much right around 5 weeks is when they start doing that, and that's about when they get away from mom. So yeah. Um, Verna says I was awakened at 6:30 this morning by sounds of jackhammer and welding sounds. Is it for the city? Did they notify you that that was going to happen? Yeah, there's municipalities and that don't notify, and there are also um, utilities that need to learn how to notify better. So there you go. um, yeah, yeah. So, Erica, you have baby birdies, baby quail. You might get bunny soon. How are your goats doing? Um, Goats are potentially still on my list, but not until I have a guard animal for them. So, um, Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening this year. I can tell you that. Yeah. Erica was awakened by 4 dogs. Oh, they don't tell you that there, huh? And no noise laws. We talked about that with the music that they just blast. Yeah. And Erica has a just blanket statement. Goats are good. Yes, goats are good. Good that the goats are good. Yep. Yep. I agree. Now, what kind do you have? Because that's the other thing. And this is not me planning, this is me asking questions as a general sense. So I have more knowledge so that when I'm ready to plan, I can plan. Does that make sense? I know there's different kinds of goats, and I would probably want some wethers just as munching machines, um, landscapers, as they call it. And I know there's different kinds and all that, and I don't know. I don't know a lot of the differences. Obviously, dwarfs are dwarf, and yeah, there's all sorts of different kinds that I don't know. But what would be good to eat down a bunch of stuff? That's my question. Because so the reason why I would go goats over sheep or goats over other things is knapweed, which is one of the major weeds here that I do want to get rid of and will eventually, I promise. Eventually. And their seeds die in the tummy of a goat. So if they eat it, then with those seeds won't sprout. So that's why goat. I don't know if the same is true with sheep, to be honest. Most people rent out goats for weed control, not sheep, and I don't know why. It might be because the seeds don't die in the tummy, in the intestinal tract or whatever. But a lot of people do rent goats. I don't know how that would work. Like for the area that I want to do, like it would be like eat it down and then pull things up. So like there would be a 2 process. Anyway, Nigerian dwarf cross for Erica. And Verna wants to know what they're crossed with. A Nigerian and dwarf. Or dwarf Nigerian. I don't know. Verna says, check out Weed'em and Reap. I have seen them. It's been a long time since I saw that channel. I don't know, for no particular reason, just it hasn't come up in a while. Okay, good advice. And Erica says, we have a business going in next door, and Poppy has been going over to visit the workers. That's funny. Okay, one of the does is half La Mancha. La Mancha is the one with the big ears, right? Nigerian dwarf is the breed. Okay. La Manchas are the ones with the huge ears, I think. Is that right? Yeah. Verna says when Zach used his goats around the pond to clean up the pond before QuailCon, he used Premier Fence. Yep. Oh, La Manchas have no ears. I was opposite then. Is it Nigerian that have the long ears? Somebody has long ears. Oh, how funny. Yeah, the issue here is not necessarily the fencing, it's the predator aspect, because everybody who has goats or has had goats here has had losses of goats from mountain lion. And so having something like a donkey or a llama would be a good addition to the team. Yeah. But yeah, he had the net, like, it's probably sheep net, I'm gonna guess. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Okay, Verna's Googling. Long-eared goats are typically represented by Nubian or Anglo-Nubian and the Gulabi or Patiri braids. I don't know either one of those. Interesting. Okay. And when I was looking at places, when I was looking at places to move and places to buy, one property that I looked at, they had, I don't remember the name of was it a sheep? It might have been a sheep. Now I'm thinking about it, I think it was a sheep. I was going to say goat, but I think it was sheep. Yeah, because it was sheep that it's a hair sheep they're brown. I think it starts with an M. But there was 3 of them that just came with the property, and they just roamed the property all the time. And we saw big chunks of brown wool, like they just brushed up against things and it came out. Pretty interesting. They also had peacocks there. So, yeah. Peacocks, I think you either love them or you hate them. When they're early in the morning, maybe not so much, huh? Erica says goats are good at finding inventive ways of taking themselves out, even without predator help. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, this I don't know. One neighbor had baby goats, and I don't know. We never actually got it on camera, but something was taking them away. And they ended up getting rid of the rest of them because otherwise they're just feeding the wildlife. Another neighbor, I don't know what kind of goats he had, but he said once they got the llama, that was a good thing. Another neighbor just got rid of goat. They decided that it wasn't worth it to lose them, and so they got rid of the goats. No, another neighbor that has goats, and they put them inside every night, so they lock them up at nighttime. That's not to say a mountain lion won't be out in the day, but it's more likely that it's going to be out hunting at night. They're awake in the day. Yeah. So, well, Verna says that's the same thing many believe about quail. I think the difference is, though, it's my opinion that for quail, people say they find interesting ways to die. I think people would find interesting ways as well if they didn't have a mom ever, you know. I think with the quail, it's a parenting issue, not necessarily a stupid issue. I think you got to be the quail's parent and teach them all these things, and it's not necessarily um, innate that it is a quail thing. It's just they're smaller than chickens, so they can get hurt worse. Yeah, Verna says that's what I would do, Katrina, put them in a barn at night. And see, I don't want to do that. One of my goals with my homesteading style, I guess, is that if I want to, I can be out later. I don't have to worry about getting home to put the chickens in or getting home to get the goats in. I don't want to have to worry about that. So taking that worry out of the equation is my goal. So, but my solution to that would be, and this person also has a guard animal as well, but my solution would be to have a guard animal. And yeah, it might not protect from everything at all times, but it'll protect from most things at most times. So yeah. Erica says goats are just curious and get themselves in trouble. Makes sense. I'm going to see, is anybody else on here? I'm going to see if I accidentally put members only as the comments, because hopefully I didn't. Wonder where everybody is. Not that I don't love talking to you guys, but I do want to see if I accidentally check that box, because that is a box to check, and I did not, so that is okay. All right, well, where is everybody on this Monday evening? Looks like normal. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I used to, when I was in California, one of my neighbors had a friend that they raised goats. And so every year we went to a party at their house, and it was a lot of fun. And we went there when they had the baby goats, and they just nibble on your hair, nibble on your shirt. They're cute as heck, but very get into trouble. And then they also those people had alpacas, and that was interesting because they're forest animals. I don't know if people know that. You guys know that alpacas are forest animals? They are. Anyway, so that's what's going on with my not goats. I haven't seen the turkey with her babies anymore. I just saw her that one time when I spooked them when I came around the corner. I wish I saw them when they were little tiny things, but I don't know where she's taken them. Maybe up into the forest. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah. Oh, thank you, Verna, for sharing it and sharing the video out. Hey, if it's just us, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Let's talk about something that everybody else will be like, hey, you talked about what without me? No. Oh, Erica's saying goats are one of those animals that people either love or hate, no in between. I think I like them just fine, as long as I don't have stinky boys. And I have no desire to milk an animal. That's something, in the ideal world, someone could, lease part of that and have a milk cow or a milk goat or whatever and pay me milk. I would accept that. Anybody out there wanting to do this? That would be the ideal, but I don't want to be. I know you can calf share and all that stuff, but I don't want to be bound to that time frame. Yeah. Rena says I would want the milking goats. Yep. And that's fine. And it's something that would be fun and good and good for the diet and all that, but I like to find a way to do my homesteading with more time freedom, and that's one of the ways I do is choose to not do things that are that corral my time. Yeah. Erica says, love my boys. They are the ones that come looking for petting. Yeah. See, my rabbits come looking for petting. The breeders do. So, yeah. Verna says, if you don't have a stinky buck, then you don't have to worry about milking. See? Yeah. That's why I'm saying wethers, because it could be girls too, but if they're all wethers, then nothing's gonna happen. Yeah. So I don't think the sun was out at all today. We had rain and cloud and all day, which made for nice sleeping after I got to sleep and after I was woken up and went back to sleep. But yeah. Erica says, I like the milking and care schedule, makes a good excuse to stay home. Yeah, and that's great. That's great if you want to stay home. And I mean, I'm most of the time I'm home, but sometimes I go into town or in a little later or something, or over at a friend's house for dinner, and we stay there for longer. And I don't want to have to rush home and put animals up. So it's my choice in how I'm doing things, and other people make other choices, so that's fine. And Adam's here. Welcome, Adam. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Says hello, listening in while finishing up watering garden and trying not to burn supper. Good luck. Good luck. Because as soon as you step out that door, the chances of dinner getting burned increases. Okay, Adam, you are like an hour away from me geologically. What type of coolness have you had? Because we had 38 degrees the other day, and I haven't planted my. I was going to plant my garden. I have plants, but I was going to plant my garden out this last weekend, but I didn't because I was like, "Ooh, 38 degrees. Let's just wait a couple more days, see what happens." And then now it looks like it's going to be 100 degrees on what I say Sunday. So yeah, I'm curious if you had any additional surprise coolings where you are. Yeah. Erica says I trim the goats' beards. They don't stink so bad that way. They don't have pee on them. Is that what you're saying? Isn't that what they do? They pee on their beards. Boys are gross. It's like with the rabbits, the males. The males spray. Not everybody knows that male rabbits spray. But when they get excited, they're like, "Smell like me," and it does not smell good. It does smell like him. Yep. Um, Britta says that is perfume for the ladies. If it works, it works, right? Yeah, it's funny. Both him and Parmesan, my old buck, he would do it more. Parmesan will do it more. I've only seen Percy do it a couple times, but Parmesan, he would do it if you were giving him attention. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're here." It's like, that's not why I'm here, dude. Yeah. So he was a good little buck. He was a good little buck. Um. Anyway, so I opened my worm bin. How many of you guys have worms? That sounds like a horrible question. How many of you guys have worm bins? Because I opened my worm bin to put some stuff in, and I'm opening this now. Actually, I should do it on the computer. I should do it on the computer because that makes more sense. And you can see, let me cue it up. Well, maybe. Did it really not record the first one? Let's see. It apparently didn't record the first part. I had that happen the other day too. Let me get back to you guys. And let's see. Share screen window. This one, I think. Yes. So this is just from a melon I was putting into the worm bin. You see all that other stuff growing? I don't really know what it is. I don't really know what all that stuff is under there. It's some sort of squash. And isn't that amazing? Okay, let's go forward. Isn't that amazing? All these things. It's some sort of squash. There's seeds on there. So I don't remember what I put in there. If it was a hybrid squash or not a hybrid squash. Because I did have a hybrid squash around. Anyway, it's the guts of something that I just went, yeah. All right. Desiree's here, says, hey, Desiree, welcome. Rona says, yeah, but Percy loves to smell your hands after you touch the new babies. So did Parmesan. They like to know their scent. Oh no. Desiree says, pretty bad week. Mother-in-law died a week ago. I am so sorry to hear that, Desiree. I hope it was expected at least. That, I mean, it's tough any which way, but man, I'm sorry. I hope you guys have some peace. For instance, stuff you had eaten. Yeah, it's something that I ate, and then the seeds went into the worm bin. Yeah, Verna, I am going to plant some. I just was surprised. Honestly, I haven't put anything in there a very long time. And so I had some stuff, that had been sitting on a plate on the counter collecting. And I'm like, I got to take this out. It's getting not great in here. And I took it out and I was like, whoa, it's growing. Now, for those who are new to vermiculture, which is raising worms or worm bins, that's awesome. It's actually a really, really great way to sprout some seeds. So throw them in there and then they sprout. But you have to get to them before the worms eat the vegetation. So the worms won't eat the seed, but they will eat the plant. So that can make it complicated. Okay. Adam says, my tomatoes have been in for 10 days with cover for that one cold night. Peppers started transplanting yesterday and finished today after work. June 1st is go time for peppers. So I know floristically, like bee wise, like what the bees are bringing in, we're about 2 weeks behind you guys, Adam. And so that sounds about right to me that I should be planning things now. Interesting. All of a sudden, oh no, Desiree. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I hope everybody's okay as they can be, because that really sucks. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. On a happier note, I did. Hopefully, you guys saw it in the weekend review, but if you didn't, I'll bring up a picture. I did see pretty cool thing, and that is, let's see here. That is this. Okay, make it big. Go back to you guys. Okay, share screen. Window, there we go. So I did see this, which was really, really cool to see. You guys see that spider on the flower? Sorry, did I just freak you guys out because there's a spider on the flower and you didn't see it? Now you do. Now you can't see flowers the same way. I'm sorry. So when I saw it the first time, I think it was actually on a different flower. And I just saw a bee like laying on a petal. I'm like, are you sleeping? And then I looked a little closer and I saw that, oh no, this crab spider has it by the neck. And so I think then it was like stinging it and subduing it. And then, not stinging it. what do they call it? Biting it, envenomating it. I just made that up. But it was doing the end of that. And then later I came back and had flipped it and was eating it from the abdomen. I thought that was pretty interesting that it started on the abdomen. It must be this. It must be the softest part. I know with mites they can be on any part of the body, but they're often on the underside, um, and that's where the fat bodies are and stuff like that. So anyway, I thought that was interesting for you guys to see if you haven't seen the video yet. Um, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, it is so cool, Myrna. Yeah, yeah. Um, Verna's saying the price of boxes have doubled since last time 2 years. You didn't hang on to them, huh? You know who's great to ask for boxes? Restaurants, because they get a whole bunch of food in boxes. So if you need cardboard boxes, ask restaurants. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Verna. I also did a short of me. I think I did like 3 of them. Yeah, I think was that yesterday that I did that? Day before yesterday, something like that. I did a bunch of them this weekend. I just felt like doing it. So hopefully people are interested in those. Yeah. And Erica says, love spiders. Yeah. Spiders are cool. And they play a really, really important role in our ecosystems, in our garden ecosystems, in our world, in our ecosystems. They play a pretty important role. So my rule is if it is outside, it's fine. If it's inside, okay, maybe I might have a quota of like daddy long legs or something. But otherwise, we're going outside. Um, I say that half jokingly because there always seems to be one, even if you take them outside, it always comes back. But they are good at getting the little fruit flies. So, which would you rather have? A spider in the kitchen or fruit flies in the kitchen? Anyway, Verna says, love spiders as long as they don't use me as furniture or food. Furniture or food. I love it. I love it. Yeah, Erica says, I'd love to have jumping spiders around. Jumping spiders are pretty cool. They have like personality. Um, there was one last summer, when I was sit out under the maple, underneath the big maple in the front yard. And every time I sat there, it would end up on my knee, sitting on my knee, looking at me. And I'm like, first couple times I kind of brush it off, and then it's like, well, you're there. I guess it's fine. You can come sit with me and be here. So um, I haven't seen it in a very long time, so I don't think it's still around. But they do live for quite a while. They live for more than a year. I don't know how long, but I know it's more than a year. So yeah. So Verna says I still like spiders, even though I have been bitten by a black widow. Man, yeah, Black widow bites have a delayed reaction often. My old neighbor was a nurse, and she said in the emergency room they would see people come in that had, several hours later after being bit, came in to emergency. And so they can have a delayed reaction. And yeah, yeah. Erica says, I had one that would come looking for me. They live about 3 years. I hope you're talking about the jumping spider and not the black widow. They do live about 3 years. Okay, I knew it was more than a year. Because people have them as pets. Like you can have a jumping spider as a pet, and they are actually interactive. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what I find. The more time you spend with a certain species of animal, the more you're going to find that they're more intelligent than you think they are to begin with. Yeah. So yes, a jumper. I was like, Black Widow is looking for you. What? Verta says mine bit me on top of my head when I was asleep. It was dead on my pillow. Ooh. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know someone that got bit by a recluse around the recluse. And about that much of her leg went away. I'm not going to get too specific on that. People don't want to hear about it. But if you're interested in learning how, just look up brown recluse spiders. I have no use for those ones. Adam says, depends on the spider. Black widows are the only ones I dispatch inside or outside only if pets could get to. Yeah. All right, Erica's saying good night. Have to get up early tomorrow. So hopefully, Erica, we will see your suggestions for pasta salad ingredients on the Facebook group. And we'll see you on Sunday, hopefully, noon 30 Pacific time. We'll see you then. Have a good night. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of spiders, and some of them are pretty cool looking. I know at my old place there was a spider. It was a jumping spider, but it was like about that big, and it had green. I just forgot the name of it. Chilipide? That's not right. The fangs. What's the official name for it? It starts with a CH or a C at least. Anyway, yeah, it had like green iridescent fangs, and it was like, that's pretty interesting. Like, what's that about? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get off the subject of spiders. I'm sorry, Desiree. She says, stop scaring me. I'm literally messing with a stick pile and they live here. I'm sorry, Desiree. Oh, I saw a couple snakes this last week. That doesn't help you, does it? Brown recluse. Yeah. Yeah, so the ways to identify that, there's a violin on the head, which apparently you can see on some, and others it's more faint. It's a shape of violin. Is it on the head or on thorax? Anyway, it's on it. But then the eye pattern, where the eyes are placed, that's the for sure way of looking at that. Why do I know this? Because there's a story that I will not tell right now because Desiree is in a pile. I was trying to identify a spider that had bitten me, and that was not a brown recluse. Yeah, the end for now. Marissa says that is on the back of Black Widow is the violin. Nope. Hourglass. Hourglass is on the Black Widow, and that is on the belly. It's on the underside of the abdomen, and it's hourglass. So violin is on the brown recluse. It doesn't look like a violin except for someone just says, hey, that's a violin. Then you're like, okay, I kind of see it. It's like a wider base, and then it goes to skinnier. I'm not going to pop up a picture. You guys can do that yourselves. It has not been too many years, Verna. It's been just the right amount of years, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah. So if anybody local is looking for a rabbit workshop, there's space available for this Saturday's class. It is going to be warm, followed by Sunday being 100 degrees according to this. Let's hope it's not 100 degrees. Let's hope it's not, what I say, 94, 98, something like that on Saturday. Yeah. I'm gonna have to prepare some ice bottles for the bunnies that are, well, for all bunnies involved. That. Oh my gosh. Oh, Verna said you were 12 when you got bit. Yeah. So I wonder what happened if it was dead on your pillow. You probably like felt the bite and went like that or something and squashed it. If you didn't wake up from it, I don't know. Maybe you did. Yeah. Um, I saw the other day. It was also in the weekend review. I saw a wasp, and it was one of the I don't even know the group. Like the tarantula hawks is the ones like there's a wasp that hunts tarantulas and stings it to paralyze it and brings it to a burrow and then lays its eggs in it and then it's a horror movie. But um, it's that body shape of a wasp and bright yellow legs. Don't know what that's about, but I saw it hunting and so that was pretty cool. I hadn't seen that kind before. Yeah, yellow feet. That's right. It wasn't the whole leg. It was the just the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, probably smacked you in your sleep. That's what I think, Verna. Yeah. Um, so last night when I was putting together the weekend review, I missed some footage. Don't know how. There was going to be a whole section of going through the trees and seeing some of the fruits. I got some of that in there, but some of it didn't make it. So we'll put that in next week's. But basically, there's going to be fruit on everything. No, not everything. The apple trees have fruit growing. The small cherry tree that was planted, I don't know, probably just a few years ago, is my guess, has very few cherries on it. The large historic cherry tree, I don't think it has any cherries on it. Um, all pear trees, nope. Yeah, that late freeze got us. And then some of the cherry plums have fruit, some of them do not. And so that's kind of the rundown of the fruit here. Oh, and then the black, what's it called? Hawthorn? I always mess up the name. I believe it was hawthorn. The black hawthorn. Um, what's the other thing that I mess it up with? Anyway, that has fruits growing. So I might do something with that this time. I don't remember what you can make with it, but I looked it up last year at too late. And so I'm gonna have to collect some and figure out what to do with it. Adam says, up here, Oregon, hobo spiders are commonly mistaken for brown recluse. All right. Steve says, ta-da! Just back from town again. Did you go to town and then come back and go to town again? Like immediately? Like, did you forget your wallet? Good to see you. Steve is S.O. Swanson. He's in Blue Little Wrench and is another moderator. Yeah, welcome. What's going on with you, Steve? How's your new property? Can we call it a new property? How long do we call a property a new property? I don't even remember. I remember when you got it, but I don't remember time-wise when you got it. Oh, just once today, dropped the truck to get a new windshield. Oh, I like the places that come to you to do the windshield stuff. I don't know that they do that here, but where I used to live, that's what they did, is they came to you, which is good. Rita says the delinquent that has been harassing us has been trespassed from here. I don't understand what you're saying. Has been trespassed from here? Does that mean they got in trouble and were removed? If so, good. Stu says, I drove by the property this weekend. It's still there. It's still there. I hope so. I hope so. Oh, for the better price, you dropped it off. Yeah. think where I was, it was all kind of the same. But that was also like there's cities on cities on cities over there, you know? Not here. Um, means they're not allowed near your door. Right, but I'm saying by the police. Like this is something that was dealt with the police because that's good. Yeah. Steve says, also remember, I live in the boondocks. I don't actually know what a boondock is. What is a boondock? Is it an actual dock? Because I don't think it is. I think it means like out in the country or out in the sticks or out in the rural area. Is that what it means? Oh, you're out in the boondocks, but not as bad as me. Okay. Okay. Oh, good. They finally got names. We're seen by a group of kids. That is so good, Verna. Hopefully they stop harassing you because that sucks. Yeah. 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 Not as bad as me, Steve says, out in the boondocks. Yeah, like I got, I got a spare bedroom and I got a bed for the spare bedroom and um people don't deliver here. You go to one town, to the south, they don't deliver here. In one town to the north, they don't deliver here. It's like, are you serious? So it's a good thing that the mattress I got and the frame I got were in boxes, and the frame you put together, and the mattress was in a box that poofed out because they don't deliver. Like, how silly is that? All right. Steve says the term boondocks refers to a remote, isolated, or heavily wooded rural area, often called the boonies. Okay, I've heard the boonies. Is boonies would be short for boondocks? That's so funny. I know boonies, but boondocks I've heard of it, but it's not really used in my area. Okay, the term boondocks refers to remote. Oh, you guys just googled the same thing. Can also describe a place far from the conveniences, entertainment, and infrastructure of a city, and can sometimes imply the area is a backward or unsophisticated. Oh, okay. Steve says, strangely, Walmart will deliver here. Yeah, they want the money. Yeah, man. I'm just thinking like mattress companies, they always deliver. Like they deliver, they take away your old one. There you go. And that's not a thing um, here. So, yeah, it was just a weird experience because what I did is I had my parents are going to, I want them to be comfortable when they come here and visit. And so what I had to buy one anyway. So I'm like, I'm not likely to be sleeping in the spare bedroom. So let's have someone pick it out that might actually be there. So I had my parents pick one out at their local store, and then we ordered from my local store, and but then they don't deliver here. I had to go pick it up at the store. So yeah, interesting. Adam says that surprise freeze dropped all my blooms except for my cherries. This winter was so warm, I don't think the apples and pears would have produced much. There's always next year. Yeah, I'm higher elevation than you are. What's your elevation, Adam? I'm about 1500. Um, yeah. So I think we got enough. I don't know what my cherry is, so I don't know what our chill hours is, but I think we hit it because we got freeze. I mean, chill hours is below. Is it 40 or 45? It's one of those numbers. So we definitely were below. We got. I mean, it was warmer, but it was warm. So yeah, someone in town has apparently cherries are they're on the trees. I should check in with my neighbor down the road. They have cherries. See if their cherries dropped. We have an interesting phenomena here where there is I keep wanting to call it thermocline, and that's when it's in water. What's it called? Inversion layer. There's an inversion layer in the wintertime, especially. There's an inversion layer that comes in, the mist comes in, and there's this line that mist is under, and it's much colder there. And so there are some fruit trees down in that area, but a lot of people ask me like, "Oh, well, why don't you go where the soil is good for your food forest?" I'm like, it gets cold there, and it's wet all the time in the winter. Like, some other things to think about, guys. Yeah. Steve says the way you started that, I have a spare bedroom and you can't get deliveries. I was wondering what you implied. Yeah, then I mentioned the mattresses. I'm tired. You missed that part of the intro. I'm tired. The kitties were up running around. 40 and below for chill hours. Okay. And 32 to 40 is chill hours from Steve. So yeah, it's 40, somewhere between 40 and 45, and probably depends on the variety and all that stuff. But yeah. Okay, so Adam's barely at 1200. So I'm 300 feet higher than you. And I have a major microclimate in this valley, like literally in this valley. So yeah. Yeah, but the cherries got hit. It had beautiful blooms. Excuse me. It had beautiful blooms. I actually think it got hit when there was little bitty fruits, like little. Yeah. And the cherry plums, there's some trees that don't have any, some trees that have some, and then one tree that has quite a bit. I haven't gone around the ones that are in the edge of the pasture looking at that yet, but yeah. Steve says I'm only at 289 feet, almost sea level. Goodness. Oh, Verna's getting a fishing license this summer. Um, so some states, fishing licenses are for more than just fish. Thought I'd point that out. Might want to look and see what all you can handle and capture and all that. Because they cover more than just fish sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, if you have a good, healthy system to fish in, no mercury and junk. Yeah. Steve says some stages. Oh, states. Okay. Some states give you old folks special rates. I'm not there yet. But I also really don't need a fishing license. Is our deer still there? Did you guys ever see it? Verna's at 680 elevation there. It's not there anymore, is it? I think it's right here for you guys. Yeah, because that's right on the top of the hill. I actually think it's a yearling from last year. And you probably never saw it, huh? I think it was along this line. But I think it's the yearling from last year because it has little nubs, and I actually haven't seen any babies. Is that true? Is that true? I haven't seen anybody with spots this year yet. I think that's true. I might have seen one on a camera that it didn't have spots though. It didn't have spots. I don't think I've seen any deer with spots this year. Interesting. And I know there's girls around. There's more male deer that I've seen personally and on cameras than female deer in the area. So that's interesting. Same thing with elk. Actually, I don't know what's on top of the hill, but in the pasture for sure. Verna says, I was wondering, I haven't seen them in your window for a while now. Yeah, I've just seen, let's see, I just did cameras a few weeks ago. I need to do it again. I've seen some of the individuals that we saw last year, but I think that group has broken up right now. There's two that I've been seeing more recently. One is the one with the nubs, and sometimes it's with another one. And it's not that much bigger than it. So when I had the four boys last year, so the last year there was four boys, and I call them the boys. Hi, boys. There was a smaller one, and then three larger ones. All the deer here are small. And then there was, so as far as the males that used to be here, excuse me, the males that I know about from last year include four youngish males. One was definitely young. I think that joined that group this year, which might be the one that I've been seeing. And then, so those four plus two older ones with bigger racks. And then there was two mamas, and one had two babies, one had one baby. And then I think it was one of the moms that got hit, that the bear got carried off. It might have been, actually, no, there was three females. Or two females for sure because they had their babies, and then one female that I'm guessing was female because just season, and she was around with them. It might have been her that got hit by the car. But yeah. So lots more males than females. So they need to have more female babies. And hopefully it comes in from neighboring areas. Yeah. Verna says, I think they visit you more during hunting season since you are the safe area. I mean, apple season for sure, right? It's not apple season yet because apples drop and they love the apple. Yeah. Steve says they can grow nubs at 5 months age. At a year, they are skinnier antlers. So the one that I'm talking about that was young last year, he had like a spike and a weird spike. Like he was just dink. And then right now, there's literally like they've grown like that big. Like not that, they're just starting now. Yeah. Uh, Adam says all the bucks are jerks and do that, Verna. Well, smart during hunting season. When I was up at Heart Mountain National Antelope Refuge in southeastern Oregon, that's where I did my internship. There's a 3-mile radius around the headquarters that's in the no hunting zone. You for sure they know when hunting season starts, and then there you have tons of pronghorn in that 3-mile no hunting zone, and they certainly figure it out very quickly. Yeah, it's smart ones that keeps the herd growing. Yep. So yeah, they know. Abella's here. Hello, folks. Hello, Abella. I hope you are doing well. I hope your bunny's doing well. Are doing well. I hope everything's going good. Yeah, we're talking random things. Let us know what you're growing. I'm really hoping it's not a super hot summer. The weather has been super weird, so I'm hoping it's not super hot, but it might end up being that. So, we're gonna hope not, but you never know. Berna's asked, have you checked on your hives lately? I checked them Was this a couple? No, it was last week. Last week? I think I checked them last week. Let me see. Let me see when I did that. When did I do that? Here we go. Where is the date? I don't need the time. When was the date? Yeah, it was last week. Yeah, last week is when I got into them. They're doing good. They actually, we had all that cool weather, and they ate through a lot of honey, and so right now, the blackberries just opened not too long ago, and so they're blooming. The blackberry bloom is pretty much the last hurrah for the big nectar flow. I believe the pollen is gray. I didn't expect that, but I was like, "What's this gray coming in? What's this gray coming in?" And then um, I was watching some bees on blackberry this weekend, and I was like, "You got gray in your pollen pants. That must be where it's coming from." But once that's when they're going to build up their stores. Um, I don't think I'm going to take any honey this year. I'm just going to get them through the winter. Um, I did just put another batch of the frames from that bee crash up on the roof this weekend, and man, they came. It's so funny. When I was up there, I took down the old stuff, which has been up there for a long time, and put up the new stuff. And there's one little girl, and I think they've just been sending one over just to see if there's anything new every day. And so she's like, "Oh, there's new stuff." And so later that afternoon there was some, and then the next day there was a whole bunch. They're like all over it. So they're going to have plenty out of that and out of the blackberry nectar flow. But I did just put on some honey because I had some from that dead out that I had. Um, and I gave them more room to put things because I didn't see much honey. There was hardly any honey in there. And the time before when I got in there was a lot of honey. So that span of time where it cooled down, they stayed home and ate in, and man, did they needed it, you know. They needed it and they used it, and they're starting over. So yeah. So I'm not gonna harvest honey this year. I'm just gonna try and let them get through the winter, and go from there. But thanks for asking. Abella says, "Hi, my bunnies are doing well." You just jumped, so I can't hear you. And my garden is basically exploding in a good way. Good, good. Steve says if Katrina cut a path with her scythe for them to follow below the top of hill, maybe they'd use that path. Maybe not. Maybe. All right. Abella says, stealing my nerves to do some bunny culling in a few weeks. Yes. Abella, I have a video on psychology's in the title. Like psychology of something, processing your own meat, raising your own meat, something like that. And it's kind of a talk through. If you've not processed animals before, I recommend you look up that video and check it out. Because I tried to make it a helpful conversation about that. Yeah. And then if you have questions, ask. I've I have rabbits. Verna's had rabbits. I don't know if anybody else on here has had rabbits, but yeah. And the Facebook group, Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group, always available. People can ask and answer questions on there as well, or share things that are going on. And Verna says, Abella, it's hard at first, but becomes easier with practice. Yep. Steve says, time to plant lots and lots of flowers. Yep. And right now, I have tiger lilies. I don't remember having tiger lilies. Let me see if I'm saying the right thing. I think that's what they are. Yep, that's what they are. Yeah, I didn't know. I don't remember seeing them last year, but they probably were here. And maybe I'm just not remembering. So much stuff is going on. But I did throw out a bunch of seeds. Now is kind of the wrong time to to be planting the flowers. But I'm paying more attention to what's blooming when, which can change with the climate and all that. But October is what I've heard. We kind of need more flowers that are blooming in October. So I'm going to kind of pay attention around that time and see what is blooming then. Right now, we're just going into the knapweed flowering, which I don't like the plant, but it does. The bees love it. So I am knocking it back on my property, but there's no getting out of it. On my property up the hill, there's plenty too. But yeah, that's something that is definitely around and is definitely available to them. So yeah, and that'll go probably for quite some time. They'll go all summer at least. And then yeah. Anyway. Yeah, Abella, it will get easier with practice and with time. Then I will tell you the most important thing is that it's not about you. It's about that animal. And that you be swift and firm. So be firm in your decisions and swift in your movements. And yeah, that's the most important, because if it's fine for you to feel emotions and deal with your emotions. And in my opinion, that should happen after, because rabbits are a prey animal. They're going to pick up on what you're feeling, and it'll affect them. And so that's number one. And then two, you need to make sure that you're not hurting the animal by being wimpy on emotion because you don't really want to do it because of how you feel. You want to make sure that you have a sure, swift motion. So for that animal, it is very quick. Yeah. And for some people, it's kind of weird to talk about, trying not to hurt it when you're ultimately ending it. But you don't want to do that for multiple reasons. One, why would you want to cause pain? But two, you're also going to, if you do cause, pain or panic and all that, you're going to release some stress hormone into that meat, and you don't want that either. So just make it about the animal. And then, hey, if you only do one in a day, that's fine. That's fine. You do your first one and all that. Now, the people who have taken my in-person workshop, all positive reviews, which is good. I need to actually ask people for recommendation blurbs. But it's there's a few people in there that had never ended anything, and when they processed, they were shaky and unsure, and had those feelings. And when they did it the first time, they had been glad that we had talked through all the psychology stuff. Part of which is we go more in depth in the in-person course, we can go individualized and all that. But if you find that video, it's psychology is in the name, and go through that, that will help you. But in person, if you do the second one within a reasonable amount of time after the first one, get your emotion going. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to go, what the heck am I doing? Go, what the heck am I doing? But do that second one is my encouragement to you, because it will, you will understand the motions you are supposed to do after you do the first one. So if you do the second one within, I'm not going to give you amount of time, but that day, you will be more sure about what you are doing. So that's what I encourage you to do. Yeah. And good luck, and contact us on the Facebook group. People are in there and can help through things as well. Yeah, on the rabbit playlist, there's several videos that I did not monetize, so I could talk more freely than saying, end, so that you guys are really able to help yourselves with that. Like I can help you by kind of talking you through the emotions of things, the psychology of things, all of that, and talk pretty frank. So check that out. Yeah. Verna says, remember, males are harder to skin than females. Yep. Mostly around the ankles and the back of the calves, and then sometimes on the sides too, but yeah. Yep. Verna says, Katrina, you could do processing videos and use that as classes like you did with aviary. I am not going to do that, though, because of how YouTube has treated people who have done that, even if it's not connected. I think processing for me, I learned by videos, and there's plenty of videos out there that can show you things. I do the really cervical dislocation is what I do, but the choke chain method is what I think the best method is. There's people on there that do it right, people on there that do it wrong. Not wrong. I mean, if it screams, that's to me not the right method. But yeah, I'm not gonna have videos on there. But doing things in person, I like teaching that in person a lot better. Yeah. So Steve says psychology behind raising your own meat. That's what I named it. Thank you, Steve. There's the link for you, Abella, and whoever is interested in that. And if you guys are watching this later, so the name is Psychology Behind Raising Your Own Meat is the video I did. It's in the rabbit playlist. And that goes beyond rabbits, but it's just in there. I don't remember all the places I put it in. But if you're on the fence about raising your own meat, or if you are finding that you are judgmental about those that do raise their own meat, I encourage you to watch that video. Because even if you don't want to raise your own meat and you don't want to do the end part of raising that meat, perhaps it will give you some insight into why some of us do. There's a lot of things in there. One is knowing what your meat eats. I remember several years ago, there was a semi-truck full of red Skittles. I don't think I'll ever forget this. And I thought it was an Onion article. It was not. It was a regular news article. And it was a semi-truck of red Skittles had spilled its load after an accident, a collision. I don't know, on a highway or something. I don't remember where. And it was on its way to feed cattle. What else do you need to know to pay more attention to to your meat, right? That and stress hormones are two of the big ones for me. Knowing what's in it, and then the stress hormones. So anyway, good luck, Abella. Let us know when it gets closer, and we'll, final questions. Yeah. Desiree says, was drilling a hole for my coop and the bit broke. Need to buy a new one now. Oh, Desiree, that always happens when the stores are not open. Right? Right? I've done that. I've done it. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. Yeah. Verna says, you give them a great life and only a few moments of bad day. Yep. Steve says, I had that issue with quail when I tried to do bloodless cull. It screamed, then lived for another 3 years after that. Yeah. Yep. There's ways to do things, and if you don't do it right, it's just not right. So, yeah. All right. Desiree, everyone wants to know if anything good happened lately. I would like to hear something good. Like the fact that you're working on a chicken coop. That's a pretty good thing, right? Britta says, like I did with Kiss, because LOL, that's why Kiss went to Lane. Is that the guinea pig? The cooey? Oh boy. I remember when you named him that, actually. Yeah. So those that don't know, guinea pig is a meat option. Not a whole lot of people do in the US. Outside the US, it's definitely much more popular. And when you are raising them for that, it's called cuy, CUY. All right. Adam says it really is about psychology with the person and the animals. All the animals I raise for meat, I spend countless hours with to give them best life. Their comfort is always foremost in my mind. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Who feeds candy to cattle? Not me. Not me. Um, isn't that a weird, like, wouldn't you think that's an Onion article? You can look it up, and it's not an Onion article. Yeah, label taste the rainbow on the hamburger, except for they only gave him one color. Taste the red? I don't know about that. Desiree says, good thing is I got to eat as many tacos as I wanted for a few days straight because is family getting together? Oh my gosh. That's the bright side. That's the bright side. Also getting to eat a lot of sushi yesterday too, because his friend took us out for helping him. So pleasure in food. There you go. There you go. And Anime, Desiree, are you coming to the Cook With Me Live on Sunday? We are making pasta salad. If so, you have to have the pasta cooked already. And if you're doing hard-boiled egg, hard boil already. And we're going to have random ingredients. Not random, but people are, yeah. We'll have ingredients. All right. Yep, Verna says, there you go, Desiree. Focus on the good moments. Exactly. Exactly. Griffin didn't keep a promise, so I get to have 3 chicks this weekend. That's a dangerous road to go down. Just saying. Yeah, I remember Verna. So Verna saying, yeah, the cuy that looked like the album of Kiss Band. Yeah, it had the marking. I remember that. Yeah. Steve says feeding Skittles to cows is more common than you would think. Oh, thank you for the link. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, Sunday is the day you go farm swap every week. Haven't gone 3 weeks. 12:30, that's noon 30 Pacific time. So I don't know what time zone you're in. So you'll have to correct for that. So, no, I don't mean Skittles. Abella. She says, buy random ingredients in the pasta salad. Do you mean Skittles? No, I'm saying there's lots of different pasta salads out there, and we're gonna have I got some ingredients already, and I'm reaching out for people to have more ingredients, so that we can share our pasta salad recipes, which I don't have one. And then also we can find and discover new combinations, maybe. I do want to get peas. I forgot about peas because I think peas in a pasta salad would be good. Steve says, wow, the accident is not online. It happened in Wisconsin. It's not online anymore. Adam says, my phone is dying. It's bedtime for me soon anyway. Everyone have a good week. I'll see you around. Adam, the sun is not even down yet. It might be, but no, it's not actually. The sun is not down. You can go to bed while the sun's up. The other day, I drove into town right after sunset here and got to see the sunset again. Because we have a giant hill here. Have a good night. Have a good night. All right, Anime, you're Eastern. I think that's the 3-hour difference. So it's 3 hours later. Verna, am I right? Peas and carrots, Katrina. She says, I was going to shred carrots. I think that would be a good thing. So I have carrots to shred. I got, what did I get? I got radishes. Pepperoni. I have my rabbit, if I need to. Celery. I got stuff. I'm tired. I don't remember what I got. But yeah. Oh, Steve found the CNN article. I need to go onto my YouTube thing so I can actually grab that. Why didn't StreamYard let us click on those things? Because I haven't read it in a while. All right, I'm gonna. Okay. Thousands of Skittles end up on icy road, but that's not the surprising part. When was this? 2017 is when this was. Yeah. Yep, in Wisconsin. Thanks for finding that, Steve. I gotta go back. Oh, it's the same as Verna's time? Okay, then she can tell you when it is. Your 6 p.m. is our 9 p.m. Okay. Got it. Steve says, Sheriff's Office noted it may be difficult to taste the rainbow in its entirety with one color that likely fell off the truck. See, I just said that, right? Oh my gosh, 2:30 wake up. Why even bother going to sleep, Adam? Why do you have a 2:30 wake up? That's AM. My goodness. Well, good night. And good luck. Oh. Abella says, how's the garden growing? Did you get anything to germinate that wasn't decimated by creatures? Carrots are up. That's the only thing that's doing anything decent. No idea why parsnips didn't come up. They may come up later. Who knows? Chard is mini, so I think it got stunted with the leather. I have not planted my other plants yet. I'm hoping that'll happen this week. It was 38 degrees. I don't remember what day that was. This weekend. It was 38 degrees one night, and I'm like, I don't need to keep. Right now, my plants are right up against the house, so they have protection. But I'm like, I gonna wait a couple more days to get it out there. But I do want to get them planted before our 100-degree day on Sunday. I don't know if it actually will be. Hopefully not. Yeah. Yeah. How about when the bees made blue honey? What? Is that a Skittles thing too? It might be. I haven't heard of that, Verna. Dusty Flats is here. Hi all. Welcome, Dusty. Welcome, welcome. Okay, Verna, can you tell her when noon 30 is your time? I believe it's 3:30. But Desiree would like to know. It's noon 30. Dusty says, anyone know why all the buttons on YouTube doesn't work? Thumbs up only on iPad. I don't know. Is anybody else having problems? You might want to restart. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Oh, Steve says the blue honey was in France from eating the candy shells of M&Ms. Can get some funky stuff going on. Yeah, Verna says that she only uses the computer. So, and you said this is on a what? On an iPad. I don't have any eyes. Yeah, so Desiree, it's 3:30 p.m. your time on Sunday. Each device, iPhone, iPad, computer, etc., gives you different options, Steve says. Can anybody help Dusty with her iPad options? Cool. Anime should be able to make it. So yeah, cook some pasta, something that holds some sauce. So bow tie, macaroni, shells, something like that. Have it pre-cooked. There you go. Can't save, share. I don't know what hype Zippo means. Um, I don't know. I don't have any eye products. Why do they call it eye? It's Apple. Apple doesn't start with an I. I am Apple ignorant, so someone can tell me that because I really don't know why it's called I. For instance, personally, when my phone does things like that, I restart the phone. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Steve says I don't get the hype on my computer. Yeah. I don't know, Dusty. I think restarting it would be first try restarting the app, and then if that doesn't work, restart your phone or the iPad or whatever it is. But stay with us, and before you do that, oh, hype is only on mobile app. Steve says the I in iPhone is a famous Apple branding prefix that originally stood for internet. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Sometimes you have to close the video to get the options. Oh, that is true. Well, you not close the video. You have to like get out of comments or like if you're in comments, you got to get out of it. I don't know. Oh, restarted and app is updated. I have no answers for you, Dusty. I'm sorry. I'm not an Apple person. All the options show, but do nothing when I touch them. You know, the same things happen for me for Verna's shorts. Or for Verna's videos. For some reason on hers, I can't comment. I don't think I'm blocked. right, Verna. I am unable to comment on her videos for some reason. Just hers. Don't know why. And that's I don't know if it's only on my phone because I've been mostly listening to things on my phone lately. I mostly listen to things. I'll watch them. Try to force stop the app. And see, so that I don't even know where my iPad is. I don't have one. Yeah. Oh, it took 2 days for it to correct itself from Verna's. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think I wasn't being serious about that, Verna. Anime says I don't think Apple has that. Oh, the force stop. I have no idea. Dusty, we're a bunch of not tech savvy people, I think. Anybody tech savvy in the creeper area who's not commenting? Jump on in and help Dusty. YouTube might have a glitch. That's possible. That's possible, Dusty. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry to insult. Did not mean to insult. Steve says I'm tech savvy, but not for Apple products. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they do glitch. And Desiree says she doesn't like Apple. It's annoying. I have not formed an opinion because I have not used it enough to form an opinion. My opinion, besides having not formed an opinion on whether or not I actually like the product, I think it's silly how much they cost, and I think it's silly that they don't include cords with things. Um, and silly is a nice word I'm using. Yeah. So I think there's a little bit of greed involved in that, where there's less greed involved in other stuff. But that is my personal opinion. 1000% Verna agrees. Yeah. Okay, it used to be difficult, but it's improved now. I know. So my company, we don't use Apple except for my boss. And every single time, it used to be, now there's no issues, but it used to be every single time you send him something to review and you get it back and the formatting's all wonky. And so he would want to see something that was fully formatted. We're like, it's going to screw up anyway. Fine. And then we'd get it back, and then to go through person doing formatting again before we sent it out. Um, that hasn't happened in a while, and I'm going to knock on some wood so it doesn't. But yeah, that it has fixed it. But it's like, why do you have this and us have this? It doesn't make sense. I'm like, I don't care which one, just as long as it's the same. So yeah. Steve says, close your chat and you'll see options. That's what I had to do on my iPhone. Close the chat and you'll see options. Dusty's been using this for a while, I think, is my thought. And I think that it's just a new thing on this device, right? Yeah. Oh, the updates drove you crazy on Microsoft, huh? Um, Updates are good. Not all of them need to happen. Some of them are updates that are screwy, but you know. I mean, we could talk about the used to, right? I mean, my first laptop lasted me 11 years, and it was HP. And so when that one died, I was like, I'll get another HP. I'm not even going to look, right? I should have looked. Um, it had so many issues, and it lasted like, I had to send it in so many times to get fixed. So many times. And so I'm never going to buy an HP again. Um, for sure. So that's the difference of something that worked for 11 years and then something that same brand to replace it, and no good, no good. Um, yeah. Um, oh, the options button is shown. They just don't work. I just give it time. I'll give it time. Dusty says I had an HP. Not a fan. I agree. Yeah, it was my first laptop, and it was fine. It worked great. It did everything I wanted it to do. But yeah, but the new one, definitely no. And then I've had two since then. Like, things just aren't built the same as they used to be. Um, 11 years. Can you imagine that? 11 years? Not anymore. Even if you baby it, right? Yeah. Anyway. So, what about non-computer related stuff? Oh, Anime says I may try a lemon herb potato salad. That's fine. You can make potato salad when we're making pasta salad. Pre-cook your potatoes, and then you'll be on the same page. We can trade a starch for a starch. I'm fine with that. I think PJ said she was going to use like a protein, like garbanzo bean or something, like that kind of flour or that kind of noodle instead of the regular noodles. Yeah. Yeah, they want us to buy new every year. Ridiculous. Steve says nothing inside a computer was made by the firm that put their name on the case. Yup. Yup. So tomorrow's video, less technology than a computer, but still has some. It's a simple video, but I felt like I should make it because boy, did I need it. When I originally ran out of string on my string trimmer. And so I am going to show you guys how to replace the string on your string trimmer or weed whacker, whatever you call it. So I don't know if it'll be interesting or not. It'll be informative. And you guys know I show you what I am up to, and what I was up to this weekend was weed whacking. So that's what I was up to. Yeah. Verna says I usually use shells, wheat shells, if I can get them. I grabbed shells. I think it was larger shells. I mean, they were still just shells. Bow tie, and I got 3 different kinds. Oh, I got the twisty ones. I don't remember what they're called. They're multicolored because they're made out of different vegetables. But I got those 3 kinds. So I figured, I'll try some, see which one works best. You want something that will grab the sauce or whatever it is. Yeah. Steve says I bought a weed whacker / brush cutter this weekend. Pricey. What kind did you get? What kind did you get? I have a Ryobi. It's electric. Well, it's battery operated. Yeah. Dusty says we finally got a bit of rain. The weeds will wake up from the dust now. We got rain today. I don't know how much rain we got, but it was raining most of the day. I don't think it's raining right now. But yeah, it rained quite a bit. Rotini, I don't know what it's called. It's whatever the spiral, the tight spiral ones. Yeah. We'll find out. Excuse me, goodness. Anyway, so that'll be tomorrow's video as weed whacker stuff. And go from there. Steve says Fusilli or Rotini are both spiral. Do you guys really want to know what it is? I can go look in the kitchen. Do we want to know what I'm using? I can. I'll go grab it. You guys are both wrong. They're rainbow twirls. Rainbow twirls. Don't know what they're supposed to be. Because obviously that's a marketing name. I've never even heard of this brand. There's some brands at the local store that I have never heard of. So it's good till 2028. Anyway, that's what that is. That's not a legit pasta name. Yes, I know. I know. That's why I said it's a marketing name. Rainbow twirls. Made out of Twizzlers. No, I'm kidding. That would be a surprise, huh? That'd be a good prank, though. Wouldn't that be a good prank? Oh. Dusty says, I like using those for Italian pasta salad. And you had named it rotini. Steve says, rainbow twirl pasta, also known as tricolor or garden rotini fusilli. Sounds like candy. I know there's probably Skittles in here, huh? No, it has spinach powder, tomato powder. Well, I guess there's only 2 colors and the other one's a plain. I did look at that. I was like, why is it colorful? Why are you a rainbow of 3 colors? Oh my gosh. Steve says the 3 distinct colors are typically created by blending tomato or red bell pepper powder, red orange, and spinach powder is green. Yep. Yeah, I want to make sure it wasn't bell pepper because we don't get along. Abella says, keep all pasta names in mind to name future rabbit doughs. Yep. Doesn't have pasta, just Italian. And there will be 2 new doughs next year is what my plan is. Yep. Steve says, tell them that 2 colors is not a rainbow. 3 colors, because we have plain. Right? I don't know that I need to call American Beauty, it's a brand, and tell them about their pasta. Yes, spinach powder. Have you not heard of how they do this, Desiree? Beet powder is used for red as well. Yeah, lots of different vegetable powders can be used as a dye, and it tastes different, and it's good. Actually, I don't think I've seen tomato and as the color agent. Before. I think usually it is beets. Interesting. Yeah, versus. Oh, I'm gonna go on that. Make it with the freeze dryer. Steve says. Yeah, I mean you don't have to do the freeze dryer. Freeze dryer is going to have more benefits for you there, but you can dehydrate and powder it in a blender for sure. Yeah. Spanish powder, spinach powder sounds good for soup. Yeah, you can powder lots of things. So Verna's asking which ones are you retiring? It's gonna be ravioli and rigatoni, the ones that look like Californian. The white ones with the black extremities. They are going to have their last breeding year next year. I don't remember exactly how old they are, but I think I worked it out that year is their last year. And then I believe penne and risotto are only a year behind, maybe a year and a half behind. I'm gonna have to look up in records and stuff, but yeah. So I'm gonna have another hutch to build in that area, and then so they can grow up while mom is still having babies, and then go from there. So yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. Steve says, my girl lives on. Way to go, Penne. Yeah, they're not going to be processed. They're going to be they're going to go to a retirement home. And I have an idea, and I have not talked to this person yet, but I have an idea. And yeah, Penny is a sweet girl. Now that she doesn't lunge at the world, she's sweet. Yeah. Yep. Given as pets. Yeah. Pets or garden producers, poop manure producers, which, I mean, anyway, I shouldn't say any more because I haven't even talked to this person yet. Yeah. So this fall will be their last breeding season. I'm going to take them through to, yeah. So yes, starting in fall that season, that's my plan. Yeah. I'm not going for grade school stuff. It's a little bit too chaotic. They are adapted to a lot of noise, but it's a little chaotic. Yeah. But anyway, so I have something in mind that I actually need to have. We need to have the conversation. No, I need to figure out where they're going, and I have an idea. But yeah. Yep. That's what you meant as pets? Poop and pets? Pets and poop? Manure girls. Yeah. Yeah, so it's that's something that's I just have to plan for it and make a new make another hutch, because what I'll do is when it's time to pull the babies away from mom, that litter I will let be with mom for a little bit longer, just so they get a little bit more milk nutrition. And then, well, the females will be with her a little longer. The males will go out to pasture, and I will keep the females minus any females that are not making the cut. And then those will be in a different hutch until they grow up to a certain age. I haven't figured that out yet. Probably up until processing age. Probably make that determination at that point, or narrow it down at least, and then go from there. And I'll keep 2 back is my plan. Now that depends on who's in a litter. This last litter that we processed at the last workshop was all males except for one. 2 litters is what we processed, and all except for one were males. I'm like, every time we did one, I'm like, is it a girl? Can we show the girl parts? You guys should know what the girl parts look like inside. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. So then you'll need a new male, is Steve's question. And Verna saying, no, Percy's still young. She got him since she moved here. No, I got him in California. So he is the same year, but younger. Younger? I'm going to have to look at some videos or some dates and stuff. He's about the same age as Penne and Risotto. He's in that same year. I don't remember if he's older or younger than them, but he's in that same year. So, yeah. He is the daddy. And Verna's saying you can breed fathers to daughters. Blessings, Lucy has to go outside. That's pretty follow. Well, hello to Lucy. Yes, so that's called line breeding, and you can do that with rabbits. I am not likely to keep back males. I'm likely to, when it's his time, I'm likely to obtain a male from somewhere else. And that will be my plan going forward is I'll keep back females, and males I'll get from somewhere else. And that will keep things pretty good genetically, even though it's considered acceptable to line breed rabbits. So yeah. So yeah, it's, my other rabbits, except for Parmesan, I didn't go through the process of all this because they end up dying. ZD died from heat earlier on. That was very, very sad. Meatball died in childbirth. Very, very sad. She was the best mom. And Tortellini, she died from a stroke. Also very, very sad. And Parmesan was rehomed, and he went to a retirement home. And so that was the only one that went to a retirement home, right? And so, yeah. Anyway, this is the process. Dusty says, nice chat, got to run. You'll have to come back and like it. Thanks for coming. All right, guys, looks like we're after 8. I have bunnies to feed, and yeah, thanks for coming. And I hope you guys are all happy and healthy, and your garden is doing well, and your animals are doing well. A reminder, if you are local or somewhat local, Douglas County, Oregon, I do have spots available for the rabbit workshop this Saturday. And then if you'd like to join us to make pasta salad on Sunday, that is going to be at 12:30 noon Pacific time. And you do that by joining the channel. So there's a join button down below, or if that's not there, there's a link to how to join. Feed the human too. Yes, Steve. Yes, I will be doing this. And then I will be going to sleep. All right. Oh, Desiree says, wish me luck on the chicks. You're going to try getting ducks. Good luck, Desiree. Good luck. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming. We had a rambling chat today, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we will see you guys either Saturday or Sunday or Monday, depending on who you are and what we're doing. Steve, I hope your comment is related to Desiree and her ducks. Yes, it is. Okay. It was just a little random put in there when I was saying that. They're called fowl for a reason, right? All right. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming, and we will see you next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. All right. Have a good night, guys.